The son of Jim and Kathy Engstrom. Ladies and gentlemen, number 6, Tad Engstrom.
You got your haircut right there.
The son of Mark and Mary Lou Francia. Ladies and gentlemen, number 4, Ian Francia. The son of Rich and Sue Menkes. Number 9, Steve Menkes.
Yeah, get out of here.
The son of Jim and Maggie Clark. Ladies and gentlemen, here tonight with David are his sister Libby and brother Jeffrey. Number 5, Dave Clark. This ought to be quite a picture, Jeff. The son of Gaetan and Linda Rushmore. Number 23, Paul Rushmore. The son of Mark and Nancy Robidoux. Number 22, Mark Matt Robidoux. The son of Jack and Carol Smith. Number 20, Steve Smith.
But he's got the tools.
The son of Diane Spataford, grandson of Lee Spataford. Ladies and gentlemen, number 29, Nathaniel Spataford. We, by the way, want to congratulate the Spataford family. Nathaniel's dad, Sandy, was posthumously inducted
Good evening, everybody.
into the Lloyd College Hall of Fame recently.
David is out of town,
And the final senior member of the Raiders for 1999-2000, the son of John and Mary Ann Whitcomb. Number 10, Nathan Whitcomb.
the senior night here in Massena, and all the seniors and their parents are being honored. We've got a moment here before the game starts to mention some of them. Steve Menkes, who's been a super for Massena of late, and his parents are making Susan Menkes, Nathan Whitcomb, and his parents John and Mary Ann Whitcomb. And it's Spataford and his mom, Diane Russo, and it was Sandy the finest athlete and a great ball player he was. His grandmother did.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting a picture, I think, of the seniors all together. Is that right? Looks like.
And his parents were Danny
See-
and Tad Engstrom. Anyway, we certainly want to thank the Massena Red Raider Hockey.
Nathaniel Spataford. On defense, number 7, assistant captain Brian Carroll.
against Angstrom, and we're underway. Off the draw, the puck comes to Steve Smith. He gathers it in, goes to Carroll. Carroll moves to the red line, bangs it deep. TI territory. Marshall back after it. Defenseman for Thousand Islands moves it along the boards. Rochford pinches in, trying to keep it in the corner. There's a battle for it there. Angstrom, and the whistle blows as they tie it up, and we'll have a face-off immediately deep in TI territory to the left of goaltender Mark High. Just underway here. No score on the Evergreen Memorial scoreboard. Massena, Thousand Islands in Northern Athletic Conference high school hockey. One game was postponed tonight, that Malone at Salmon River game. They're going to play that one tomorrow night, so the Shamrocks will play Malone tomorrow night and then travel to Canton on Friday to make up that game they missed last Wednesday. Off the face-off, Angstrom back to Carroll at the point. He'll bang it around the boards. Racing for it, Aaron Michaud in the corner. Michaud after it, can't come up with it. There's Agar with it. He battles for it along the boards. Pinches ahead, Michaud fights, flips it in the corner, Rochford. Rochford goes in after it. Rochford there along with Pacunas. Pacunas and Rochford battle. The puck squirts free to the blue line. Steve Smith gets a quick snapshot. It's blocked, and the Vikings move it down the ice. In fact, it's going to go far enough for an icing, I believe. Trying to hit Eric Agar breaking, and it was too far. And the faceoff will move all the way back in Massena territory. We've played about 46 seconds in the first period. There's no score in the hockey game on the Evergreen Memorial scoreboard. Massena, Thousand Islands here at the Massena Arena. Glad you could join us for tonight's broadcast. I hope that your Wednesday has been a good one. Raiders travel to Alex Bay on Saturday, a 1 o'clock game. We'll be on the air with a short edition of High School Hockey Report before that. Face-off right side. Steblin stays out there to draw against Mankeys. The Rabadou line out for Massena, and they keep it in the zone. Puck goes in behind the net. Racing for it there and picking it up is Mashaw. Flips it around the boards. Raiders control Rabadou. He'll dump it to Mankeys. Mankeys kind of overskates. The puck squirts free back after it. Steblin. He'll round the boards with it. Comes all the way back to Francia. Winds up his shot. Is gloved by the goalie. He's going to hold on, but that was off the net. So the face-off again will stay inside TI territory. 13:51 left in the first period. No score in the hockey game. Mankeys out there with Rabadou, and we've got Chris Levine on the other wing. And that's a change. Matt Jobe had been playing that wing. Off the face-off, Mankeys trying to get the shot off. It's blocked. And here comes TI. Richard Mashaw out of the zone. He'll dump it from the red line. Deep in Massena territory. Bounces in behind the net. Cleared around the boards. Kept in at the point. And dumped in behind the net. Ian Francia is there to gather it in. He'll go to Mankeys. Mankeys bounces it. Doesn't quite, yeah, he does clear the zone. Raiders will move it out down the left wing side. Here's Mankeys, steps by 1 by 2. He's got Levine, he's gonna shoot, and he fired it wide. Bouncing all the way back out to center ice. The seas kind of parted, and he just stepped by the defense. Raiders defense picking it up. Brian Carroll with it, flips it ahead to Mankeys. He gets sandwiched. Rabadou will pick it up. Matt Rabadou takes it across. Rabadou poke checked away, and back the other way comes TI. Swept away at the Massena blue line, right back out to center ice. Picked up there by Richard Mashaw. He lost it off the end of his stick, then flips it out the neutral zone. Angstrom is there. Angstrom drops it to Carroll at the blue line. Carroll, Rabadou too far. That'll be icing on Massena, and that'll move the faceoff back inside Massena territory. Rabadou was ready for a line change that time and was not able to gather that puck in. Face-off will move back inside Massena territory. No score in the hockey game. We played just over a couple of minutes in the first period. Massena, Thousand Islands here at the Massena Arena. Angstrom out there to take the face-off. He'll face off against Seth Parker. Parker out there with Ransier and Lundell for the Vikings. Off the face-off, puck comes to Aaron Michaud. He'll drop it to Carroll. Carroll rips it up along the boards. It bounces right back to him. He can't control it. Fights for it in behind the net. There's a battle. Agar gets a piece of it, but it's cleared by Carroll ahead to Michaud. Poked away from him, but Carroll follows off the glass out to center ice. Michaud trying to flip it ahead. It's intercepted on the defense and back the other way. That was Sheely dumping into the Massena zone. After it, Adam Wood flips it in behind the net, steps by the check, looks for the wing, a little bit too far, goes back to the point. Here's a shot from the point, deflected just wide by Sheely. Puck in the corner now. Sheely gets knocked down. They battle for it around the boards to the blue line and out to center ice. Michaud, head man to Rochford. Rochford steps by a check, has it poked away at the last second, and Agar dumps it right back in the Massena zone. Puck in behind the net. Brian Carroll picking it up. Carroll's head man, Rochford. Rochford flipping ahead, intercepted, and offsides will be the call. And that was Richard Mashaw, and he took a shot and blasted it right into Adam Wood. after the offside. So Wood goes off limping a little bit there, and the faceoff will move outside the zone. Robidoux back out to take the draw against Steblin. No score. We're early in the first period. Massena and Thousand Islands here at the Massena Arena. O'Brien gets ready to drop the puck. Off the face-off, there's a battle at the blue line. Steblin wins the draw and dumps it in the corner. After it's Steve Smith. Smith trying to flip it ahead for Chris Levine. He can't control it. It goes bouncing in behind the net. Battling for it there. To the blue line. And the Raiders will move it out. Here comes Robidoux down the right wing side. Robidoux trying to slide by the defense. Drops to Levine. Levine barges back to the point. Flipping around the boards it goes. That's Nick Toth getting his first action of the season. And it's nice to have Nicholas back. Toth after it in the corner. Now it's going to be Levine. Battles around. He drops it along the boards to the blue line. Robidoux back to Toth. Winds up. His shot is wide. Bounces in behind the net. Picked up by the Vikings. They move it to the blue line. Out to center ice. Robidoux's right there. Takes it right back across. A little bit too soon. Mankey's trying to get out of the zone, but he didn't in time. And offsides will be the call on the Red Raiders. No score in the hockey game. 11:06 left in the first period on the Evergreen Memorial scoreboard. Our broadcast tonight on WMSA being brought to you by the North Country Savings Bank is Wall Street. Taking you on the ride of your life. Now's the time to open a safe and secure North Country Savings Bank high-interest certificate of deposit. And you can check into that at any office of North Country Savings Bank, Massena, Potsdam, Canton, and Ogdensburg. The Angstrom line out there off the draw. The puck squirts to the Massena blue line, picked up there by Kevin Horan. Kevin starts out of his own zone, looks down the wing, moves it ahead to Angstrom. Angstrom's pass knocked away, back the other way comes T.I. The shot from center ice is gloved by Spatafor. He'll leave it there, side of the net. Horan bounces it around for Rochford. Paul starts up, moves it along the boards. Angstrom has to drop it back to Ian Francia. Francia takes it side of the net, then bangs it behind for Kevin Horan, and Horan will move it. Horan's headman pass. They move to Angstrom. Tad, dipsy doodles by one, takes it across the blue line, has it knocked away, back out to center ice. Bouncing puck. They battle for it. Francia takes a check. The puck squirts free. Comes to Angstrom. Tad looks up. Here's Angstrom circling, poked away. Comes back after it, lost his stick, and the puck squirts in the Massena zone right back out to center ice. It's cleared there and picked up by Pakunis. He'll dump it deep in Massena zone, and they'll make a change. Back out comes Francia. Headman to Rochford goes by him down the ice, and that'll be icing against the Red Raiders. And we're down to 9:58 left in period number one. And on the scoreboard, it's still 0-0, Massena and Thousand Islands. Neither team has really gotten on track here yet tonight. The Raiders have had a couple of opportunities, but nothing too great. And the only shot on net I think that T.I. has had has come from center ice. Out to take the face-off, Parker off the draw. The puck along the boards, into the corner it goes. Brian Carroll picking it up there. He'll take it behind his own net and start out. Here's Carroll looking up. He'll drop it off to Smith. Let's see here. We got Tubolino out there. Ryan Ramo, Massena's fourth line out. Across the blue line. Here's Carroll making the move, and he's just knocked off the puck as he goes by the last guy, and it's picked up by Richard Mashaw. Lost it off the side of his skate, and then back it comes to center ice. Ryan Ramo dumps it right back in the zone as they battle for it. Puck bounces out to center ice and to the Massena line, picked up by Steve Smith. He'll drop it over to Brian Carroll, and back the other way it goes. Here comes the shot from center ice. It's gloved by goaltender Hyde. He'll drop it in behind for his defense. That shot came from Brian Carroll. Now the puck along the boards to Carroll at the blue line. He dumps it, kicked out to center ice, and back comes Parker. Here's Parker down the right wing side. He'll slide one right on. Spatafor will cover up and hold on for the face-off in the Massena zone. 9:02 remaining. Period number one, no score on the Evergreen Memorial scoreboard. Massena and Thousand Islands. Our broadcast tonight also brought to you in part by Massena Optics, located in Massena. Reynolds Metals, St. Lawrence Reduction Plant, working together, their quality shines through. And by Massena Building Supply in downtown Massena. It's going to be Steblin right back out there against Robidoux. Off the face-off, puck along the boards, controlled, and a shot side of the net. And holding on is Spatafor, and he'll hold on again for another face-off. That puck was headed for the back of the net behind the net, I should say, and Spataford grabbed it on the way by. And we'll face it off again. Robidoux against Ken Steblin. Steblin out there with Marks and Warmoth. Robidoux out there with off the face-off. Puck, here's a shot. That's in behind the net. Bounces around the boards. Levine is the other forward on this line with Mankies. Puck goes in the corner and around the boards, and Mankies will grab it. Here's Steve Mankies. Steps by. Has a stick tied up. Tries to kick it ahead. And it kind of squirts free into the corner, and Robidoux will rip it around the boards for Chris Levine. Back it comes in the corner and around the boards. Kept in by T.I. as they set up shop in the corner, trying to make something happen in front. They got a backhander. They score right through the 5-hole, and that's going to go to Aaron LaFleur, I believe. LaFleur will get the goal on an easy backhander that went right through the legs, and the Raiders trail 1-0 as T.I. gets the first goal of this game. That goal coming at the 11:37 mark of the period. No, excuse me, I'm thinking 20-minute periods. At the 6:37 mark of the period.
The Vikings goal scored by number 25, Scott Warmoth.
Now Warmoth gets the goal.
Number 20, Tim Marks.
Tim Marks picks up the assist. Now I saw that completely wrong. They're giving it to Warmoth from Marks. I was sure that it was LaFleur who got the goal. Raiders, Angstrom dumps it deep. Raiders trail 1-0. Thousand Islands with a lead here. Aaron Michaud throws a check in the corner. It comes to Agar, knocked away. Back to Angstrom, has it poke checked away to the blue line out to center ice. Picked up there by Rochford, who gets upended. And here's a shot from center, the save made. And the puck clear to the blue line and out to center ice by the Red Raiders. Picking it up, Marshall, he dumps it deep in Massena territory. In behind is Steve Smith. Smith wraps it around the boards, and Massena breaks out of there. Headman, Rochford. Rochford pokes by the D. Here comes Rochford breaking in right side. Centers it, and it's knocked away by good back-checking Marshall. Puck still free in the corner behind the net. Rochford again will go back to Wood at the point, and he can't control it. He kept it in momentarily, but it's out to center ice. And into the Massena zone it goes. And Horan doing a good job taking his man off the puck. It goes in behind the net. And it's cleared, and the Raiders move it ahead. Here comes Massena's Rochford, 1-on-2. Rochford does the move, gets by one, almost gets by the second one. Horan has to wait for his wing to get onside, flips it in behind the net. Raiders making line changes. Puck kept in at the point. Here comes Ramo with it, knocked away from him and out to center ice, Brian Carroll. Carroll picking up the puck. He'll skate it back. Carroll steps by a check and pokes it ahead for Tubolino. In the corner it goes. Pakunis after it, poked away from him. Puck comes back to the blue line. Francia, he'll flip it in behind the net. Centering pass in front, the shot knocked down in front. A good opportunity for Ryan Ramo, and the Vikings will ice the puck, and down the ice it goes. Thousand Islands leading 1-0 on the Evergreens Memorial scoreboard with 6:26 left in the period. That goal coming at the 6:36 mark of the period. And again, they gave the goal to Warmoth from Agar, I guess. And that's what my score sheet says. I thought for sure it was LaFleur that got that goal. Face off right side. Ryan Ramo wins the draw. Back to the point. Francia, and he had to jump over his stick out to center ice. And he flips it up into the boards, and it rolls up over the glass, and we'll face it off outside the zone. 6:18 left in the first period. 1-0 TI leading. We stay out there with the Ramo line. And off the face-off control by TI. Puck bounces into the Massena zone. And it bounces free. It's still in the zone. And right across the goal mouth it goes. Massena, Brian Carroll gathers it in behind the net and starts out. Here comes Carroll with it. Bounce pass to Tubolino, goes by him and down the ice, and they're going to call icing on it. Tubolino had been able to catch that pass. He would have been free. 5:55 left in the first period. 1-0. The Raiders trail Thousand Islands. The Vikings are leading on a goal by Warmoth. Scott Warmoth getting the goal from Eric Agar. I could have sworn it was LaFleur getting that goal. Yeah. It's a little weak backhander from the high slot, and went right through the legs of Massena goaltender. Back off the faceoff, it's out to center ice. The puck almost stolen away by Robidoux, but it's cleared out to center ice. Mankies is there, dumping it back in the zone. Back out to center ice. It'll come to Matt Job. Job, he'll drop it back into the Massena zone. Bounces to the blue line and out to center ice. To the line of TI. Back out to the neutral zone again as they race for it. Wormuth knocked away from him, but following up is Steblin. Steblin winds his shot, save made by Spatafor. Puck in the corner as they circle around to the blue line. It bounces away, and it's kept in barely at the point. Job after it. He throws a check. The puck squirts free. Steve Smith knocks it out to center ice. A battle for it. Back inside the Massena zone it comes. There's a foot race for it, and Robidoux's going to get there. Robidoux looking for Mankies. Mankies trying to drop it back to Robidoux. Knocked away. Picked up again in the Massena zone. Banging it ahead. That's Nick Toth to the blue line. Kept in at the point. Bounces back in the corner. Toth after it there. He gathers it in. Nick's first game this year. Pass doesn't clear the zone. Knocked down in front. Steve Smith moves it out to center ice, and Robidoux has it jump off the end of his stick. Bouncing around. Comes back to Steve Smith. Smith steps by the check. Takes it by one. By two. Gets upended on the play. And the crowd clamoring for penalty, but none to be had. And the puck picked up there by the Vikings. He'll move it back out to center ice. Here comes T.I. That's LaFleur dumping it deep in the Massena zone. Ian Francia, he'll rip it around the boards. Kept in at the point. Here's a shot deflected in front, and it comes to Aaron Michaud. He bangs it ahead to neutral zone. Picked up there by Pakunis, who dumps it right back in the Massena zone. 4 minutes and change left in the period. The Vikings ahead, and they don't clear the zone. Here's the shot. It's blocked by Kevin Horan. Horan gathers it in, takes it behind, makes a quick move, starts out left side. Headman pass out to center ice. Michaud. Michaud's pass knocked down. They battle for it there. Eric Agar picks it up. Agar has it swept away, battles through, can't come up with it, and it's picked up by Ian Francia. Francia bangs it down the ice. That's going to trickle right on net. No, it doesn't go on, so it's icing, and we'll have a face-off back in the Massena zone. Raiders slow on getting on track here tonight, and kind of lackadaisical out there, and as a result, they trail 1-0. 3:39 left in the first period. Face-off will move back inside Massena territory after the icing. Broadcast also brought to you by the members of CCOM, located in Massena, Malone, and Potsdam. And remember, if you're a St. Lawrence County resident, you're now eligible to be a member of CCOM. Stop in. Check out member benefits. Off the face-off, puck comes to Adam Wood. Wood takes it behind his net, moves it ahead, gets it back again. We got a delay penalty on Thousand Island, so the Raiders are going to go on the power play here. They get their goaltender off and get the extra attacker, and here comes Massena with the extra man out there. Carroll with it, trying to pass to himself, but it's touched, and that'll take care of that. And the Raiders will go on the power play. I don't have the stats here, but they are in the high 20s, in the high 20% on the power play, and that is excellent. It's going to be an interference call against Thousand Islands, and we'll pick up the number here in a moment. It's going to be Eric Rancier picking up the penalty. And so the Raiders will go on the power play here with 3:18 left in the first period. Engstrom coming out along with Mankies and Robidoux, Steve Smith and Brian Carroll. Off the draw, puck in the corner, Robidoux after it, picks it up, back to the point, Steve Smith. Smith goes to Mankies. Mankies in front. Robidoux score! Bang, bang, bang! And the Raiders have tied it up on the power play almost immediately. So that power play just continues on a torrid pace as the Raiders tie it up on the power play. They took, just a few seconds. The penalty occurred at 11:42, the goal at 11:53. So it took them 11 seconds to score that goal after the power play started. Smith and Mankies pick up the assist on Robidoux's goal, and the Raiders have taken the lead. Have tied it up here on the power play. A 1-1 tie hockey game here. Off the face-off, the puck goes up into the Massena bench, so we'll do it all over again. So 11 seconds, Robidoux gets the goal, Steve Mankies and Steve Smith picking up the assists on that goal. 11 seconds after the beginning of the power play. So the Raiders continue their torrid pace on the power play and score another power play goal. Angstrom out there with Rochford and Michaud. Wins the draw to Steve Smith. Smith goes to Adam Wood, steps across the red line and dumps it deep. Bouncing puck off the backboard, poke checked by the goalie Hyde into the corner, and here comes T.I. Headman pass, they got a man breaking, and Steve Smith just knocks him off the puck. Great play by Smith. He throws the hard check, and the puck bounces into the corner. Picked up there by Massena. Michaud tries the stick handle, doesn't get through. Shot high over the glass and into the wall, and we'll have a face-off inside Massena territory, probably about the top of the circle to the left of goaltender Nathaniel Spatafor. 2:36 remaining in the first period. Now they're going to move the face-off outside the zone. Apparently nobody from Massena touched that after it left the stick. So the face-off moves outside. And off the draw, the puck dumped into the Massena zone, comes to Wood. Wood gathers it in, looks up ice. Headman pass goes by everybody. It's intercepted there by LaFleur. Dumps to the Massena line. Smith is there to flip it ahead. He gets knocked down from behind. Oh boy. Here comes Massena's Michaud. Centering pass, deflected right on. Save made as Rochford picked up Michaud's centering pass. He was pretty well tied up, but he managed to deflect it. And the save was made by goaltender Mark Hyde. 1-1 tie hockey game on the Evergreen Memorial scoreboard. We're here in the first period at the Massena Arena. The Raiders and the Vikings with 2:16 left in the period. Vikings making changes here as they'll change their entire lineup. Coming out to play will be, we'll pick them up here in a moment. It's going to be the Steblin line. Steblin taking the face-off. Off the draw. Puck in the corner. That's Robbie Whitcup. Whitcup out there with Levine and Tubolino. This is a new configuration we haven't seen this year. And the puck bounces free to the point. Tubolino, nice job keeping it in. He steps by a check, lost it off the end of his stick, follows it into the corner, has it taken away by Steblin. Ken Steblin. Headman pass goes by everybody. Ian Francia looking for Levine. Instead it's Tubolino. Tubolino goes to Levine across the blue line. Poke checked away. Out to center ice. Puck goes into the Massena zone. Ian Francia with it. Flips it ahead. Back out to center ice. Offsides will be the call. Steblin tried to bring it back in, but he was a good foot offsides. And the whistle blows with 1:38 left in the first period. Raiders and Thousand Islands all tied up at a goal apiece. Raiders making changes now. The Robidoux line coming out there. Robidoux, Mankies, and Job. And we didn't see Job on the wing in this line for a little while at first, so I'm not sure what happened there, but he's out there now. Here comes Matt Job with the puck. He lets it go by him. Picked up there by Mashaw, who headmans it to the Massena line. Into the zone it goes. Here's a backhander. Save made by goaltender Spatafor. Puck goes in behind the net. Picked up again by the Vikings. They got a man breaking, but he can't get to it. It bounces back to the blue line. Dumped into the corner again. Robidoux after it throws a big check. The puck comes free. Now Michaud. Robidoux picks up the loose puck. Poke checks it ahead to center ice. Knocked by. Here comes Mankies with Job. Mankies takes it across to Job in front shot. And he fired it wide. Couldn't really gather it in. Good opportunity for Massena there. We're into the final minute of the period as the puck bounces out to center ice. Picked up again by Job. He lost his edge. Knocked away from him. To the Massena line it goes. And it's Nick Toth with it. Toth circles in the corner. Flips it to Job on the wing. Job looks up ice. He's got Mankies breaking, but it's off a leg. Mankies flips ahead for Robidoux. It's going to go too far for him. LaFleur after it in the corner. LaFleur rips it around the boards. Pinching in is Toth. Toth takes it, tries to center it, lost it off the end of his stick. Puck cleared around the boards. It's going to go to Travis Wells. Moves it to the blue line out to center ice. And it comes to the Massena line, knocked away, picked up there, ahead to Robidoux. Robidoux Mankies, and it's behind him. And he went offsides. He has to come back out again. And it's Bakunis moving it out. Raiders making changes. Here comes the puck into the Massena zone. It goes to Steblin. His shot right on. The save made. Spatafor is going to hold on with 8 seconds left in the period. A 1-1 tie hockey game on the Evergreen Memorial scoreboard. The Raiders and the Thousand Islands Vikings. Massena gave up the first goal, kind of a weak shot right between the legs, but came back with a power play just 9 seconds into the power play goal, a goal by Matt Robidoux. Robbie Whitcup coming out to take the face-off. 8 seconds left in the first period of a 1-1 tie hockey game. Eric Agar will take the draw for TI. Off the face-off the puck, they got a man and a shot save made, and a big one. The rebound bounces into the corner, and it's picked up by the Raiders. Big save by Spatafor right there as the buzzer sounds, and the Raiders face-off man. So Converse moves up on the wing here, Smith and Carroll to start this period. And let's see here, it's going to be Larkins taking the face-off. Raiders off the draw, into the zone it goes. After it, Angstrom, who throws the check, the puck squirts free and bounces into the corner. Rochford after it, can't come up with it, goes on the wing to Shealy, and he moves it out to center ice. Long headman pass, into the Massena zone it goes. Back after it, Smith gathers it in, picks it up, flips it ahead on the wing, comes to Converse. Converse over skates, where is it? We got an injured man on the ice. And Smith gets right up quickly. I'm not sure what happened to him, if he caught a stick or what, but he's going off the ice under his own power, but he's in some discomfort. I did not see, the puck had gone ahead, so I didn't see what happened. But here comes Park out on the ice for his first shift tonight. He'll be out there with Kevin Horan. Raiders staying with the same front line, the Angstrom line. Angstrom, Rochford, and Converse. Out to take the draw will be Mike Larkins in the Massena zone. Off the draw, the puck sits there. Converse over skates, and the puck right across the goal mouth, picked up by Kevin Horan. Horan will start out behind his own net. Looks to headman right on the stick of Angstrom. Tad stops. Long headman pass deflected in the zone. Picked up by Rochford. Paul Rochford winds up, trying to feed Angstrom. Angstrom gets knocked down, and the puck bounces free. And here come the Vikings. Headman pass for Agar. He gets by the defense. His shot, he hit the goalpost. And the puck goes around the boards and in the corner. And the Massena defenseman just did not take his man, and as a result, a good chance for Agar, but he missed. Here's Converse, trying to step by the check, following up his Angstrom. Angstrom takes it across, right down the middle, steps by the defense, takes it in front and got a weak shot off, and couldn't finish it as goaltender Mark Hyde holds on for the faceoff. 13:51 left in the second period, and on our scoreboard, the Corky's Collision scoreboard, it's a 1-1 tie hockey game. Yeah, I believe it hit the goalpost. Matt Robidoux out there. Matt Job and Steve Menkes. Off the face-off, Menkes a shot, save made, rebound, and it's kicked into the corner by Job as he couldn't get a stick on it. Menkes again flips it by the defense in the corner. Back to pick it up there is Pakunis. He rips it around the board. Smith, good to see him back out there. He stick handles, moves it into the corner. Bounce to the blue line, Smith keeps it in again. Here's Steve Smith, gets a quick snapshot, fired it wide. Goes all the way around the boards to Carroll. Carroll slides one, just go through the middle, but it doesn't get through. And back comes T.I. Into the zone, it's Steblin. Steblin lost it off the end of his stick. Steve Smith picks it up, bangs it ahead for Joe, bounces it out to center ice. Dumped back in the Massena zone, delay offsides as T.I. gets onside, and it's going to be Brian Carroll picking up the loose puck. Here's Carroll, flipping it ahead to the blue line, out to center ice. Menkes to Robidoux. Robidoux takes it in. He's got Job. He's going to drop it to Menkes. Menkes trying to center. It's knocked down by the defense. Cleared along the boards to the blue line. They bang it out to center ice. Steve Smith is there for Massena. He picks it up, dumps it in the zone. Back in the corner it goes. In behind the net, Menkes racing for it. He'll get there first. Looks to wrap it around. No, he goes to Robidoux. Robidoux in the slot, winds up, he fanned on the shot, gets it back again, tries to slide it through, and Brown gets a shot off, and it's knocked away, clear to the blue line, kept in at the point, kept in again, ripped around the boards. Menkes can't quite catch up with it. He battles in the corner after it. Carroll pinches in, flips to Menkes, who lost his stick. Bouncer in the corner. They race for it. That's Whitcup, Nathan, and finally it's dumped down the ice by Thousand Islands, and you already notice a little different Massena team out there.
Certainly different this period. Massena's really carrying their play to Thousand Islands.
Face-off will move back inside TI territory. Robbie Whitcup's line out there now. Whitcup, Brown, and Whitcup as Nathan back out on the ice after a one-period suspension for being late. Robbie will take the face-off inside TI territory. Off the draw, David Park pinches in, throws a check. The bouncing puck to the blue line, kept in at the point. Now it's flipped to the blue line and out to center ice. Park after it. He can't come up with it, but he throws a check. The bouncing puck dumped deep in Massena zone. Delay offsides, The puck comes back to Raiders defense. They move it ahead. Whitcup to Whitcup, bounced off his stick, back inside the zone. Spatafor will glove it, and he'll leave it side of the net for David Park. Park picks up the loose puck and looks up. Very non-aggressive forecheck, should we say, by Thousand Islands. Bouncing puck at center ice. Robbie Whitcup throws a check. The puck dumped to the blue line. Right back out again it goes off the stick of Kevin Horan. Here comes Massena's Robbie Whitcup trying to go by the check. Drops to Brown. Brown skates in front. The shot. Ooh, big save. That was labeled for the corner. A great save by Mark Hyde. And the puck cleared out to center ice. Kevin Horan turns it around at his own blue line. He'll skate it out of the zone. Here's Horan with it. Through some traffic. Has it knocked off. Nathan Whitcup tries to follow. He gets it knocked away, back out to Horan. Horan has to wait. He'll just dump it and let Nathan get onside. The Raiders clear the zone, make a line change as the Angstrom line comes out. Bouncing puck to center ice. Into the Massena zone it goes. Here comes Travis Wells. His shot high over the net. And we'll have a face-off inside as Spatafor got a piece of it on the way by and knocked it up into the wall. Face-off will come to his right in the Massena zone. 10:56 remaining. Period number 2. It's a 1-1 tie hockey game on the Corky's Collision scoreboard. Agar out there with Larkins and Shealy. It'll be the Rochford line. Rochford out there with Angstrom and Aaron Michaud. Rochford takes the draw. Into the corner it goes. The bouncer in the circle. Rochford, no Angstrom. Angstrom stick handles out to center ice. Looks to head man, gets it right back off a leg. Here's Angstrom with it. Moves by right down the middle. Here's Angstrom trying to barge his way through to the blue line and out to center ice off the defense. Steve Smith picks it up, flips it back in the zone. Dumped right back out to center ice. Brian Carroll after it. Carroll takes a man out of the play. The puck sits in the corner. And Rochford is in there to try to come up with it. Squirts free and back to the blue line. Kept in at the point. Bouncing in the corner again. Carroll has it poked away. Goes on the other side. Shealy in behind the net. He's taken out of the play by Carroll. Rochford picks up the loose puck ahead to Angstrom. Here comes Tad, just tips it by the defenseman. Tipped it a little too hard, but stays with it. He's got Michaud in front. Aaron Michaud. Goaltender makes a great play coming out of the net to poke it away before there's any damage, and the puck slides out to center ice. Bouncing around. Picked up there by Aaron Michaud. Michaud drops it to Smith, gets it back again. Looks up, bangs it ahead to the blue line. Here's Robidoux coming off the bench. Big Matt gets knocked down. And there's going to be another penalty, I believe, as he just got hooked from behind. And who's going to get the gate? Mel Tomelty, always very demonstrative. And he makes the call. And the Raiders will go on the power play here with 9:47 left in the middle period. 1-1 tie hockey game here. And that's going to go against Mike Larkins. Larkins will get the gate. And probably hooking. I didn't hear what he called, but I think it's probably hooking. Hooking or tripping. So the Raiders go back on the power play. Robidoux, Menkes, Angstrom, and on defense, David Park and Brian Carroll. Park with a puck now. Hooking is the call. Park circles at his own blue line, goes over to Carroll. Carroll moves it ahead, takes it across, stops out at the blue line, flips it in the corner. Racing back in after it is Marshall. Marshall and Robidoux battle. Marshall pokes it by. And it's to the blue line, not out of the zone. Carroll winds up, deflected right on. Save made, and a good one by Hyde. And the puck dumped down the ice. Now, wouldn't that be gloving the puck?
I didn't notice it, Jerry. I was just looking at the shot of net down. I put my head off the play.
Off the face-off. Carroll with it. He'll drop it to Park in behind. Park moves it ahead. Robidoux. Robidoux to Menkes. Menkes gathers it and takes it by the D. Here's Menkes trying to go to Angstrom. Knocked away, kept in at the point. Park, what a reach he's got. Over to Carroll. Winds up. His shot. No, he bounces it in behind Angstrom. Angstrom looks. Angstrom going back. No, he's not going to go back to the point. He'll go to Carroll. Here's Brian Carroll with it, setting it up. Carroll goes to Robidoux at the 45. Into Angstrom in the corner. Angstrom overskates. Now he'll go back to Robidoux. We're down to 20 seconds left in the man advantage. Robidoux back to the point. Carroll, did he keep it in? He did not. And he'll have to regroup. David Park with it. Park flips it. Poke checked away. Park again. Back in the Massena zone it goes. Here comes Mashaw with it in the corner. And that'll take care of the penalty right there. But here comes Massena's Robidoux. Robidoux takes the head of steam right down the middle. Here's Robidoux turning it around. He lost his edge again. He waited too long. And back comes T.I. Into the zone is LaFleur. His shot is blocked by Steve Smith. Smith trying to poke it ahead. Goes bouncing around the zone. Here comes Mankies. Mankies, flip pass. Ahead it goes and it's knocked away. Comes right back to Angstrom. Angstrom by the blue line. Dumps it in the zone. That's Mankies rather. And the bouncer goes in the corner where it's picked up by Aaron LaFleur. And he'll start it back the other way. To the Massena line. Smith has it knocked away. He tried to go to Whitcup, but it bounced away from him. Comes to Nathan Whitcup in his own zone. In behind the net as they move it around the horn. Steve Smith with it. Smith flips it ahead. Brown for Robbie Whitcup. Whitcup and Brown battle right in front of the penalty box. And it's tied up right there and we'll have a face-off. 7:25 left in the period. And a 1-1 tie hockey game. That power play didn't look quite as good for Massena as they didn't pass the puck as well.
No, Thousand Islands did a great job. I don't think Massena got one shot on that in the whole power play, and I think Thousand Islands pretty much controlled the play.
It was one of those situations where the puck was rolling off the end of the stick and getting away from them. 1-1 tie hockey game, so the Raiders 1 for 2 on the power play here. Face off in center ice. Off the draw comes to the Massena line. Picked up by Kevin Horan. Horan circles. Goes to Steve Smith. Smith skates it from the red line, dumps it deep. In the zone it goes and around the horn. Whitcup after it, throws a check in the corner. There's a battle, the other Whitcup involved as well, but the puck squirts free to Rancière. He rips it around the boards, and it's out to center ice. Nice head man, and across the blue line it goes. Lundell, he just knocked off the puck, comes back to the blue line and out to center ice. Picked up there by the Vikings. They bounce it to the Massena line. Horan, he'll have to drop it back to Steve Smith. Smith goes back to Horan. Horan flips it ahead. Nathan Whitcup. Whitcup looks. He's got Robbie breaking a little bit too far, though, and LaFleur will gather it in. He'll rip it around the boards. And it goes back to Pinkunas. He loses it in front. The shot is fired high and wide by Whitcup. And the puck dumped down the ice. And that'll be icing against Thousand Islands. That came close to the net, but Spatafor watched it all the way.
Massena's still having a tough time getting the shots on net. When they get in 25, 30 feet out front, they continuously been missing the net.
That's right, you got to get those shots on. They did have one golden opportunity, and the goaltender made a great save.
Matt Brown?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great shot, a great opportunity. It was a great shot by Matt Brown.
Spatafor, I should say, Massena's got Rochford taking the face-off. There we go. Off the draw. Puck underneath. Sprawling defenseman out to center ice. Park right there to flip it ahead. Rochford throws a check, throws the puck in the zone. Back to pick it up. Rochford, he can't come up with it. Bounces out to center ice. Brian Carroll is there. Here's Carroll, flipping it ahead for Converse. Converse goes to Rochford, takes it across, trying to dipsy-doodle his way through. It's knocked away and out to center ice. Angstrom there. He moves it ahead to the blue line. In the zone it goes. Picked up by Mashaw. Mashaw rips it around the boards. Angstrom steps in front. He's got a clear path to the goal. Sharp angle shot. And the save is made by goaltender Hyde. And the face-off will move outside. No, apparently didn't catch him on the shoulder. They're going to move the face-off outside the zone. He just missed it high and wide. So another shot that didn't hit the net. And the officials, the Massena Red Raiders are arguing with the officials, saying that the goaltender got a piece of it, but they're not buying it. O'Brien moves the face-off right out. 5:43 left in the second period. It's still a 1-1 tie here, Massena Thousand Islands. Off the face-off. Vikings control. They drop it back in their own zone. Goes to LaFleur. LaFleur rips it along the boards to the blue line. Bouncing puck, cleared. Park keeps it in, dumps it back in the corner. In behind the net is Pinkunas. Picks it up, bangs it all off the boards, but not out of the zone where Joe picks it up. Trying to go to Park, but it's knocked away. And here comes Eric Agar. He's their big guy, and he's taken out of the play by Joe. Agar gets up, tries to center it. It's knocked away in front. Here's a sharp angle shot to the short side, and Spatafor is going to tie it up. I think it was tied up in the mesh. And now a little bit of pushing and shoving as Park and Sheely have a couple of words, but nothing will come of that, and the face-off will come in the Massena zone. We're down to 5:11 left in the second period. Still a 1-1 tie hockey game. It came into this period 1-1 and still 1-1.
It's a fast-moving period. The teams are skating faster, but by the clock that's going faster too, there's been less interruptions.
Our broadcast on WMSA also brought to you in part by Massena Savings and Loan, Coca-Cola, bottlers of Powerade, and by Sullivan's Office Supply. Matt Robidoux out there to take the draw against Larkins. Off the face-off, here comes Mankies. Swept away, gets it back again over skates, has it knocked to the Massena line, dumped right in. Gonna go right on net, so no icing. Back after it, Kevin Horan. Horan flips it around the boards. Michaud, he'll drop it on the other side to Steve Smith. Smith looks up ice, trying to clear the zone. He doesn't get it, gets it back again. Now moves it ahead to Mankies. Mankies, head man to Robidoux. Robidoux down the right wing side, does the shift, feeds it in front for Michaud. The backhander goes behind the net. Michaud just couldn't get a stick on it. Nice pass by Robidoux. Now the puck comes back to the blue line and out to center ice. Bouncing puck. Picked up there and into the zone it goes. Pakunas gets a shot off. Spatafor makes the save and holds on for the face-off. And we'll have another draw in the Massena zone with 4:27 left in the second period. We're still tied at 1 on the Corky's Collision scoreboard. Now the Thousand Islands team arguing about something. I'm not sure what they were telling the official, but Rancière comes out to take the face-off against Robbie Whitcup.
I think the Thousand Island player got jostled by the Massena player, and I think Mel Tomley stepped in, put his hands on his chest.
Off the face-off, puck sits in the circle, but the Raiders are going to move it out. That's Kevin Horan leading the attack. Stick handles across the blue line. Takes it deep in the zone, trying to center it, but it's knocked away by the defenseman. Mashaw stays with him. Long headman, he got a man breaking. He gets a piece of it, so there's no icing. He's not going to catch the puck until behind the net. Whitcup takes him out of the play. Now the puck along the boards as they battle for it. It comes bouncing free to Nathan Whitcup. Poke checked away from him. Back into the circle, it's dumped in behind the net. Picked up by Steve Smith. Smith skates it ahead. He'll flip it along the boards to the blue line and out to center ice. Here comes Nathan Whitcup. Whitcup taking it across the blue line. Here's Whitcup in the corner. Nathan still has it, trying to center it. Bounces in behind the net, centered again. Comes right back into the corner. Robbie Whitcup throws a check on the defenseman Mashaw. The battle for the puck comes to Nathan Whitcup. He's tied up and flips it over on the other side. Mashaw gets up and picks it up. Trying to round the boards, and it's dumped down the ice. Inside the Massena zone, it'll go far enough for icing, as they had a guy trying to sneak in behind Seth Parker, but he wasn't going to catch up with that one, and icing will be the call. Face-off will move back inside TI territory. 1-1 tie hockey game here in the Corky's Collision scoreboard. Just 3:24 left in the second period. Angstrom's line out now for Massena against the Steblin line. Face-off to the left of goaltender Mark Hyde. Off the draw. Puck in the corner. Along the boards it goes. Kept in there. Comes right back on the defense. LaFleur trying to rip it around the boards. Raiders trying to do a little floor forechecking. Comes to LaFleur again. Has it knocked away. They battle for it along the corner. Rochford doing some damage, and Angstrom tries to come up with a puck. He's got it. Side of the net, over skates. And finally it's out to center ice. Here comes defenseman LaFleur. Does a nice shift and gets a weak shot off that goes in behind the net. Picked up by Brian Carroll. Carroll gets knocked down, gets a puck to the blue line, but not out of the zone. A bouncer still in there. They battle for it. Finally, Rochford over skates. He can't come up with it. They got a man breaking. They can't get him the puck, though. And it comes to Converse, who flips it along the boards. Into the corner it goes. Steblin behind the net, trying to flip it around the corner. It'll go in the other corner to Francia. He looks up ice. Headman to Rochford, who got tripped, gets right back up again, slides it across to Angstrom. Angstrom has it knocked away. Rochford winds up in front. Oh, and Converse just couldn't put a stick on it. Right back comes T.I. They break down into the Massena zone. Here's LaFleur. LaFleur dishes off. Here's the shot right across the goal mouth. And we have a whistle as the net got knocked off its moorings. As the Raiders putting some pressure on, but they gave up a 3-on-2 on the way back. And I'll tell you what, T.I. almost cashed in. Face-off will be in the Massena zone with 2:08 left in the period. Definitely not the game we saw Saturday.
No, for sure. And it's not the period I expected. We're going to get out of Massena. for coming out. But
They looked like they were going to come out, and they came out hard.
They started real strong, and for some reason they just lost the horses.
Face-off will be inside the Massena zone. Larkin's out there to draw against Robidoux.
I think Massena wants face-off outside the zone.
That's what they were arguing about. Again, the officials must have ruled that Massena knocked the net off as opposed to TI. Off the face-off, the bouncer in the circle, goes off a couple of legs, picked up by Menkes, bounces it out to center ice, and moves it to Robidoux through traffic. Here's Robidoux, he's got Job, skates in front, the shot glove. I'm not sure that was on net,
no,
but it was gloved nicely by Mark Hyde. That puck was, I believe, going wide, as Hyde had the glove out, but I do believe that shot was going wide. 1:56 left as Menkes sent Robidoux away on the left side. Robidoux cut across the middle and had room, but fired it wide. Yeah, we got a good vantage point for a shot from that direction from up here. Puck around the boards to the blue line. It trickles out to center ice. Steve Smith dumps it right back in the zone. 1-1 tie hockey game here. Puck around the boards, stepping in front, Menkes. Menkes tries to center, bounces to Job. He backhands Robidoux. He fired it. It's knocked down by Menkes with a high stick, but TI touches it anyway. And they're going to move it ahead and down the ice. Blocked by Steve Smith. Flips it ahead for Robidoux. Robidoux drops it back for Park. Park looks for Smith, who lost his stick. Job has to come back for it. Bounces it over to Park. Park bangs it ahead. That'll go down the ice for icing, I believe. Yep. And the whistle blows, and we'll have a face-off back inside Massena territory with 1:16 left in period number 2. And we're still tied at 1 on the Corky's Collision scoreboard.
Massena wasn't looking for an icing there. It was kind of weak icing. I think they were just trying to dump it down and have someone pick it up while they're changing the lines.
Robidoux will take the draw against Agar in the Massena zone to the right of goaltender Spatafor off the face-off. Puck controlled by Smith. Here comes Smith lugging it out. Headman to Menkes, intercepted. Back comes the TI defense. Here's a shot. Whoa! That deflected off Smith. And I'll tell you what, the Raiders had to make a quick save. Back to the blue line. Knocked down in front. Park pokes it ahead to the blue line. Doesn't get it out of the zone. Coming back is Job. He'll flip it free to Menkes. Menkes moves it ahead, not out again. Here's a chance in front, fired wide again by TI. Comes back to the blue line. Raiders kind of running around a little bit. Here's an opportunity for Agar. He circles out by the blue line. He finds the defenseman, LaFleur, shot save, rebound. Into the corner it goes. And finally Smith will pick it up with 33 seconds. Doesn't clear the zone. LaFleur keeps it, and finally it's dumped down the ice. But not far enough for icing. Robidoux racing for it. He gets knocked down. No whistle. And the puck cleared around the boards. Robidoux really battling for the puck there. And now we've got a penalty on Massena. And the Raiders, did they touch the puck? Apparently they did. And Steve Menkes is going to pick up an elbow call. Robidoux got tripped on the way in, no call. And then Menkes got the second one through.
I think that's what all started. Massena was a little upset because I think Robidoux's progress was impeded there. Almost interference on him. I'm quite sure it was interference. And Massena's a little bit upset, retaliated, and they got the penalty.
Yep. You got to play within yourself, and elbowing the call on Menkes. So now the Raiders have to try to kill a penalty here for 15 seconds. That's all that's left in the second period, and the face-off will be in the Massena zone. Top of the circle to the left of goaltender Spatafor. Actually, TI's best chance was that shot from center ice that deflected off Steve Smith. Here they've got a good opportunity. It's knocked down in front by Carroll. 12 seconds left. The Raiders try to squirt free. Couldn't do it. Back in the zone, cleared by Rochford up into the TI bench. And the face-off will come again in the Massena zone. Raiders tried to break away 2-on-1, and it just didn't connect. So the face-off will be to the top of the circle inside the Massena zone again. Five seconds left in the period. 1-1 tie hockey game. No scoring at all in this second period. He'll drop the puck. It'll be Steblin taking the face-off against Angstrom. Big face-off here. Face-off one to the blue line. Here's a shot knocked down in front. Save made Spatafor. Huge save as the buzzer sounds. I don't know how he kept that one out, but what a great save that was right off the face-off as the Raiders did not do their job, and T.I. got a great opportunity.
That all happened on
The line. Rochford picks it up and lifts it high in the air, right back inside T.I. territory. Picking it up there is Mashaw to Agar. Eric Agar. He'll flip it ahead. LaFleur. LaFleur goes into the Massena zone and dumps it in the corner. Kevin Horan after it. Horan just looking to tie it up. It squirts free. In behind the net, it's picked up by Marks. Moves it around the board, sets up shop, top of the circle. Looks, centers it right across the goal mouth, but it's intercepted and dumped right back down the ice by Steve Smith. 35 seconds left in the man advantage. Puck clear to the blue line. Engstrom steps in front of it, makes a move in front, can't get the shot off, and back the other way comes T.I. Paul ran into 4 different players that time. Here's the defenseman Mashaw in behind the net, looking, stops in the circle, drops it in behind. They got a man in front and he can't clear it. I think Spatafor got a piece of it on the way by.
Yeah, but I don't think it was headed towards the corner though. It was a little bit wide.
Here's a man in front again, but they clear it into the corner with 8 seconds left. Puck still free. Side of the net. They go back to the point with it. Back to the 45, a bouncer. Smith throwing a check. Engstrom trying to pick up the puck. Penalties elapsed, but the Vikings still have it. In the front, it goes in behind the net as they try to get a shot off Marks. Now the puck cleared around the boards, and there's a battle for it. It's kicked free, and it'll come to Mankies. Mankies moves it ahead. He gets knocked down. Puck still in the zone. So they got a man in front. Rochford clears it ahead out to center ice. Back after it is LaFleur, and Mankies gets checked off the puck, trying to stay with it. Can't come up with it. Robidoux follows. Here's Robidoux in front. Poke checked away at the last second. He would have been all by himself. Comes back to David Park at his own blue line. Park's headman to Job. Job takes it by, gets knocked down. The puck squirts free to Eric Agar. Agar turns it around, dumps it down the ice. That'll be icing against T.I. So the Raiders did their first job, killing off the penalty. There's a couple of anxious moments there, but they were able to do it. Now let's see if they can score a goal.
I thought Robillard carried the puck well. He had a good opportunity to come in. He didn't get the shot away, but he was wheeling in on the net, and I don't know what happened. I guess he got upset.
I think it got poke checked off his stick. You mean Robidoux. And he'll take, or is Mankies going to take the draw? Mankies will take the draw. Inside T.I. territory, off the face-off. Puck goes into the corner off the draw. Robidoux steps in front of a pass, takes it behind, goes to Mankies. Mankies, Robidoux, they both go down. The puck squirts free and out to center ice, and it's knocked away.
Yeah, they got an interference coming up, Thousand Islands, on interference on Robidoux.
As they knocked him down, as he was just trying to barge his way through. It is going to be an interference call, and it's going to go against who? We'll wait and see who goes into the penalty box. Happened behind the play, and again, that's not the kind of penalty you like to take. So the Raiders will go on the power play, and this would be a golden opportunity to pick up a power play goal here. They're 1 for 2 on the power play. It's going to go against the defenseman, Pakunas. Paul Pakunas gets the penalty, and Massena goes on the power play. Face-off in the TI zone to the right of goaltender Mark Hyde. Engstrom will take the draw. Off the face-off, bouncer clear to the blue line, out to center ice. David Park had started to pinch in, and the puck went by him back into the Massena zone. Park after it, picks up a forechecker, and he's going to carry it ahead, then goes to Mankies. Mankies pass, Carroll. Carroll's got some room, takes it across, stops out by the blue line, setting it up. He'll go to David Park. Park winds up, takes the shot right on, rebound, and where did it go? Glove in the glove of the goaltender, Hyde, as he had 2 Massena Red Raiders waiting for a rebound, and he didn't give one up. Now David Park getting some last-second instructions from Ken Hurlbutt, and the Vikings will change penalty killers. Coming out will be Larkins and Agar. Engstrom will take the face-off, same spot to the right of goaltender Hyde. 1-1 tie hockey game, 12:06 left in the third, Massena Thousand Islands. Off the draw, puck goes in the corner, clear to the blue line. Carroll fakes the shot, goes to Park. Back to Carroll, moving it around the horn. Carroll has it knocked away. I'm not sure what happened there, he just lost it.
Just lost it.
And it goes in behind the net, and Park will pick it up. Leaves it for Carroll. And Carroll starts back the other way. Headman pass to the blue line across. Robidoux, but offsides is Angstrom. 36 seconds left in the man advantage. And it's just one of those games where the Raiders can't seem to all get on the same page.
I thought they got too close to each other in that power play over there. Or just what happened, and Thousand Islands got the stick on it and cleared it out of the zone.
Robidoux will take the draw just outside TI zone. Off the face-off, Robidoux trying to barge his way through, and he can't. And it's dumped down the ice again by Thousand Islands, and we're down to 29 seconds. About one more rush on this power play. And here comes David Park. Headman pass right on the tape. Here's Robidoux. And he lost it off the end of his stick again. And it's dumped down the ice. And I'm not sure what's going on with Matt tonight. And there's a whistle behind the play. And Robidoux is going to be called for a holding, and I didn't see it. So Matt Robidoux goes to the box, and that's a little frustration, I do believe. As he lost the puck, he was breaking in, and the puck just rolled off the end of his stick, and then he picked up a holding call behind the play.
Matt Robidoux, a minute and a half for holding. Time 3 minutes, 40 seconds.
So now, in 16 seconds, TI will go on the power play. Steblin will take the face-off against Angstrom. Off the draw. Puck comes out by the blue line. And here comes Steve Mankies, trying to barge his way through. Rolled off the end of his stick and out to center ice. To the Massena line. Here's Steblin with it. He's got a man breaking. Feeds it to him. Here's the shot. Save made Spatafor. He lost it off the end of his stick, but managed to clear it in the corner. Mankies. Now there's a power play for TI. Raiders move it ahead. Angstrom takes it out to center ice and then flips it down the ice inside TI territory. Mashaw with it. Mashaw takes it across, winds up. His shot deflects and goes in behind the net. Cleared around the boards. Comes to Mankies. He finds the hole. Dumps it out to center ice. And now we got another penalty?
Yeah, penalty or Thousand Islands. A bench penalty, I believe.
I didn't. Is that too many men?
Well, it might be. He's pointing at the bench.
Yep. Yeah, I'll bet it is. Too many men on the ice. I think they caught him in a line change as the puck came right in front of the bench, and when that happens, that's a tough break. And I do believe that's what it's going to be, a bench penalty for too many men on the ice. That'll even things up for 47 seconds. So Matt Robidoux maybe can take the goat horns off. Yep, that's what it is. Too many men on the ice. So we got 4-on-4, plus the goaltenders, with 10:37 left. Things certainly haven't gotten any better for Massena in this third period. They just can't seem to put it together. Off the face-off. I'm not taking anything away from Thousand Islands, but the Raiders just are not playing up to their potential, no doubt about it. But here comes Rochford. Takes it by one, has it knocked away. In the corner, turns it around. He's still got it. Finally, it's poked away and bounces in behind the net. Rochford gets knocked out again. Clear to the blue line, out to center ice. Carroll with it, has it knocked away. Here comes Steblin. Steblin winds. The shot is, well, I'm not even sure that was on net. Puck around the boards. Carroll picks it up. Back the other way comes Massena. Rochford and Carroll, 2-on-2. Carroll takes it by the defenseman. He's got room. Skates in front to Rochford. Lost it off his stick. Save made as he couldn't get a good shot off. Comes to the shot taken by Converse, and down the ice it goes. Raiders get a man back. And they're going to be on a very brief power play, 35 seconds.
This is a scenario I was talking about when they had the extra man.
Here comes Robidoux. Takes it by one. He'll skate it across. Takes it by two. Here's Robidoux, starts in the slot. Back to the point. Carroll winds his shot wide. Rebound. Bounces in the net. And the Raiders score the go-ahead goal off the goalie, I think. Paul Rochford's going to get it. And that will go down as a power play goal for Massena.
I thought Matt Robidoux got it.
Well, one of them did. They were both. Robidoux was to the left of the goalie. Rochford was to the right of the goalie. And the puck, and I'm not sure who touched it. Well, I know who touched it last was the goalie.
Yeah, well, Carroll gets the assist.
That's right. We'll see who they give the goal to. So the Raiders take the lead on the power play. Their second power play goal of the game. And now it's 2-1 Massena. It is Robidoux. You're right, Paul. Matt Robidoux getting his second goal of the night on the power play. Off the face-off, the puck comes to the Massena line. Horan with it, turns it around. Dipsy doodles with it, looks up ice. He'll go ahead to Smith. Smith ahead to Robbie Whitcup, a little bit too far. Whitcup couldn't control it. Back to the Massena line. Smith is there, has it knocked away. Picked up by Robbie Whitcup, back to Kevin Horan. We'll see if that goal ignites the Red Raiders. And finally, it's dumped down deep inside TI territory. In the zone it goes, and out to center ice it goes. Steve Smith with it, bouncing it ahead. Knocked right back to him from the red line, dumps it in the zone. Back in the corner it goes. There's going to be another penalty on TI. That's going to be interference. Yep, good call. Matt Brown was trying to barge his way. Now, the TI crowd's going nuts, but it was a great call. Matt Brown was trying to go for the puck, and the TI player, and we'll tell you who it is, impeded him, and that's interference. And they're really unhappy about that call, but they are absolutely wrong. That was a good call against Mike Larkins. And so the Raiders go back on the power play here. Both their goals have been on the power play here tonight. They lead it 2-1 on the Corky's Collision scoreboard. If they could put one in here, that would certainly go a long way to salting this one away. Larkins for interference. Time of the goal was, I can't tell you. We can send JR down to get the time of Massena's second goal. He'll go and get it. And now we're going to have a timeout called by Thousand Islands. Interesting time to call a timeout here, but that's what they're going to do. They're going to call a timeout. And so we can tell you that our broadcast is being brought to you tonight on WMSA by Tony's Pizza. Tony's Pizza, located in downtown Massena. It is a tradition for pizza, calzones. It is a great place to eat, Tony's Pizza. Also by Tri-Lakes Home Medical Equipment. If you need oxygen or hospital beds, home medical equipment of any type, be sure to stop down at Tri-Lakes Home Medical Equipment. Nationwide Insurance and your local Nationwide agents, Robert Adams and Robert White, located on East Orva Street in Massena. North Country Savings Bank, locations throughout the North Country, including Massena, Potsdam, Canton, and Ogdensburg. Is Wall Street taking you on the ride of your life? Now is the time to open a safe and secure North Country Savings Bank high-interest certificate of deposit. Also brought to you tonight by Seaway Orthopedics, located on Outer Andrew Street in Massena. Upstate Telecom and Audio in the Hardhaven Shopping Center in Massena. Also by Sullivan's Office Supply and that delicious Green Mountain Coffee. Sullivan's Office Supply. So the Raiders have taken a 2-1 lead here in the third period. 8:42 left, and they're on the power play, an interference call. So let's see if the Raiders can click again. They're 2 for 3 on the power play here this evening, and we'll see what happens. It'll be Angstrom taking the face-off against Mankeys, or Angstrom with Mankeys and Robidoux, and Carroll and Park out at the points. It'll be Steblin taking the draw for TI. Off the face-off, Raiders win it. Back to Carroll at the point. Flips on the 45, Robidoux. Robidoux in the corner, gets it right back again. Back to Carroll at the point. Carroll fakes the shot, goes to Robidoux, steps into the circle, goes back in the corner, Angstrom. Angstrom back to Carroll. He's open, winds up the shot, score! Power play goal by Brian Carroll. What a beautiful, beautiful goal that was.
That was a great power play goal. That's the best power play you could imagine.
The Raiders moved that puck around just like clockwork on the power play and have taken a 3-1 lead.
Right.
I'll tell you what, that's 3 more power play goals from Massena tonight. And that power play is just scorching. Red hot. Brian Carroll getting the goal. Matt Robidoux has been in on all 3 goals for Massena. He's the only assist on the goal. Carroll from Robidoux, 6:35. Power play goal number 3 for Massena. The Raiders have taken a 3-1 lead in the third period. And that was a beautiful goal.
I thought they should have had a second assist on that because that was a bing, bang, bing.
I agree. Off the face-off. Brian Carroll controls the puck. He'll move it over to David Park. Park's going to skate it across. He'll just dump it in the corner. Puck goes in behind the net. Picked up there by LaFleur. LaFleur loses it to Park. What's Park doing in there? Centers in front, score! Mankeys, David Park is setting up a goal is what he's doing in there. And the Raiders have taken a 4-1 lead. And that was not a power play goal. So David Park sets up Steve Mankeys. I'll tell you what, Mankeys is a sniper, and he is always hanging around the net. And if you get him the puck in scoring position, more times than not, he's going to bang it in. So the Raiders have taken a 4-1 lead here in the third period.
That was only 16 seconds apart from the power play goal.
16 seconds between goals 3 and 4 for Massena. Off the face-off, puck controlled by Agar. Agar dipsy doodles. Out to center ice, flip to the Massena line, and in the zone it goes. Brian Carroll picks it up, takes it behind the net, over to David Park, back to Carroll. Carroll goes back to Park. Park starts out to Robidoux. Robidoux deflects it ahead to Mankeys. Here comes Mankeys by the defense. Here comes Mankeys trying to go to Robidoux. Robidoux in front, shot. Oh, and Joe fires it wide. Almost set up another one there. Here comes T.I. back to center ice, bouncing puck controlled by Job. Ahead to Mankeys, trying to feed Robidoux, but it's back out to center ice. And now Agar and Smith go together, and the puck is iced by T.I. 7:25 left in the third period. Raiders lead at 4-1 on the Corky's Collision scoreboard. So Massena has taken control of this game.
That was an icing Thousand Islands had to take. They need to get a whistle to get reorganized. They were just running all over the place. Massena had them on the run.
Yeah, they had just almost scored their fifth goal there a moment ago as Matt Job just fired it wide. Off the face-off, puck to the blue line, kept in by Smith at the point, flips it in the corner, in behind the net, picked up by Pakunis. He rips it around the boards. They battle for it. It's out to center ice. Kevin Horan dumps it right back in the corner. Raiders get on side. Puck comes in behind the net. Picked up by Mashaw. Almost lost its side of the net, but he's going to lug it ahead and moves it out to center ice. Picked up there by T.I. as they move it to the Massena blue line. Cross in the zone. Offsides will be the call as the forward, Tim Marks, kind of pulled it in behind him as he lost it right at the blue line. 6:53 left in the third period. And on the Evergreen Memorial scoreboard, the Raiders lead 4-1.
And at offsides, I think he was looking at Steve Smith, and he wasn't sure if he wanted to tangle with Smith or drop the puck.
Smith had him lined up, did he? Off the face-off, puck inside the Massena zone. Here comes Horan with it. Lost it. Now he moves it ahead to Angstrom. Angstrom in the corner, battles for it there along with the defenseman Mashaw. Puck squirts free, and it comes to the blue line. Kept in by Smith, gets a shot off. It's deflected in behind the net. Angstrom after it, can't come up with it. Around the boards it goes. To the blue line, out to center ice. Here comes Steblin with it. Steblin trying to barge his way through. Where's the puck in the corner? They battle for it there. Angstrom comes back after it. He can't come up with it. In the corner, they still battle for it. Puck squirts free. And it comes to Rochefort, and he just bangs it out to center ice. Into the TI zone it goes. Michaud after it along with the defenseman Marshall. They battle behind the net. Marshall wins that battle and skates it ahead. To the blue line, out to center ice. Here comes Marks with it. He'll dump it deep as he wants off. And Steve Smith picks up the puck. Flips it around the boards. Has it knocked away. There's a battle in the corner. Smith steps in front. Doesn't clear the zone. They move it around the horn. Here's a quick shot. Spatafor makes a save. The rebound gets another save. Not a hard shot. Puck in behind, they center, they got a man in front, shot, save. And there's going to be a penalty, I believe, behind the play. Yeah, Steve Smith is going to pick up a call, and I'm not sure what for. Maybe holding? Yeah, that's what they're going to call it, is holding. And that happened behind the net. Raiders got a little bit sloppy with a puck in their own end, and Steve Smith did a little clutch behind the net, and the penalty will go against Massena. So back on the power play for Thousand Islands with a 4-1 lead and 5:36 remaining in period number 3. Face-off will be inside Massena territory with T.I. going on the power play here. Let's see who the Raiders have out there. Rochford and Converse, along with Carroll. And who is the other? We need another defenseman out there. One of the sticks, I'm not sure whose stick that was, but it got shattered. It's going to be in Francia, the other defenseman for Massena. And taking the face-off will be Josh Sheely. He'll face off against Rochford. Out there as well will be Travis Wells. Off the draw, puck goes back to the blue line. They battle for it. Converse gets a piece of it and clears it out to center ice. He lost his edge, but his momentum carried the puck out to center ice. Agar, who's out there as well, dumps it in the zone. Here's Brian Carroll, cranks it around the boards, heads up play. He saw that the defenseman had vacated, and he dumped it all the way down the ice. Goaltender's going to clear it out to center ice, comes back in the zone, and Agar picks it up there. Here's Eric Agar, flipping ahead to the Massena line. Carroll gathers it in, dumps it right back inside TI territory. Down to 5 minutes remaining in the third period. Raiders have a 4-1 lead here on the Corky scoreboard. At the blue line and into the Massena zone. Here's the wind and the shot. No, it's a pass. Comes back to the blue line. They knock it down in front, and the Raiders clear it back down the ice. 40 seconds left in the man advantage. Both teams making changes. Back out to center ice. It's Wells with it. Lost it off the end of his stick. Agar picks it up. Circles. Eric Agar flips to the Massena line. Picked up there by Brian Carroll, and he just cranks it down the ice with 20 seconds left in the power play. Agar picks up the loose puck behind his own net. He'll start out. Here comes Eric Agar building up a head of steam. He's a good hockey player. Makes his move, and it's swept off his stick by Francia. Agar centers it all the way back to center ice. 3 seconds left as the Raiders kill that one off. And they get the man back. That's Steve Smith, who steps back out on the ice. And the puck dumped in by T.I. In behind the net, Ian Francia. He circles back. Here's Francia lugging it out to center ice. Trying to clear the zone, he doesn't. Lost it off the end of his stick to the blue line, kept in at the point. They battle for it there, but it's poke checked away. Carroll, he's got a head of steam and a half a step. Here's Brian Carroll busting in partial breakaway. Carroll shot, and he lost it off the end of his stick at the last second. Carroll still battling for the puck in the corner. He still comes up with the puck. Here's Carroll, steps by the check again, lost his stick, or somebody did, the TI player, and the puck bounces out to center ice. Into the Massena zone, and into the corner it goes. 3:20 left in the third period. David Park with it, kicks it around the boards, lost it, gets it back again, flips it ahead. Whitcup, he deflects it into the corner, and the Raiders will make a change. To the blue line, out to center ice. Here comes TI's Tim Marks into the Massena zone. Oh, nice move. Marks gets a shot, but Spatafor makes the save. Where's the puck? It's still in the slot. Now they clear it into the corner. Great save by Spatafor. Here's the headman, Brown. Poke checked away, but Park follows it up. Here's Park out to center ice. Dumps it down the ice with 2:42. And icing. No, they call the icing apparently. And I think they're going to also call a penalty. And I didn't see that. That happened behind the play, but it's going to be an elbow call against Thousand Islands. Who's that going to be? 2:40 left in the third period. Let's thank you, Scott Warmoth. Thanks, Danielle. Our assistant statistician tonight, Danielle Clark. So Warmoth goes into the box with 2:40 left in the third period. Raiders lead 4-1. Took him 2 1/4 periods to wake up, Paul, but wake up they did.
Yeah, they're rolling now.
Kind of woke up the sleeping giant, I guess.
I think the coach told them they're going to turn the heat off the bus there heading towards the bay this weekend.
Yeah, right. If you don't play better, you're going to ride a cold bus. Puck dumped down the ice by T.I. Raiders on the power play. And if I'm not mistaken, they have 3 power play goals tonight as their power play continues to sizzle. David Park just dumps it in behind the net. Racing for it there is Tubolino. And I'll tell you, the Raiders are going to have some players get a chance to play in this power play.
I think the Raiders are just kind of running the clock right now, just trying to control the play, and they got a 3-goal lead 2 minutes ago.
Just threw the puck away. David Park was heading for the bench. Back in the zone it comes. Here's the shot. Kick save made by Spatafor. I think he made that one a little more spectacular than it had to be. Now Raiders control the puck. We have a whistle.
It's penalty against Massena.
We're going to call a high stick. And that's, well, we'll not say anything. That's going to go against Ryan Ramo. 1:49 remaining in the third period. Raiders lead 4-1. And the faceoff will be in the Massena zone.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of 3/4 of play in the Central Division of
Here's the Massena Governor score.
basketball in Governor, it is Massena 32, Governor 29.
32-29, so a close one after 3/4. The Raiders lead over in Governor. Face-off. Tim Marks off the draw, bounces out to center ice. Dump back in the Massena zone. In behind the net. Picked up there by the Raiders. That's Kevin Horan doing the shift. Goes on the wing. Converse drops it free to Ian Francia. Francia will go back to Horan. We're skating 4-on-4 plus the goaltenders. Converse couldn't find it. Mishaw does. Flips it to Francia, who dumps it down the ice. Raiders lead 4-1 with 1:19 left in the period. Raiders just kind of buzzing around here, taking it easy. The puck dumped to the Massena line. Kevin Horan is there. Now it's going to be a power play. Kevin gets a shot from center ice for TI. They don't clear the zone. It comes to Mishaw. Here's Aaron. Winds up the big drive. Big save, the rebound. They battle for it. Under a minute to play here. Puck bounces to center ice, dumped right back in. And we got a quick offside. They're going to have another penalty.
I think they're going to get a bench penalty, too.
I think they picked up an unsportsmanlike. 52 seconds left in the third period. Yep. And a misconduct as well. So the Raiders are going to be down 2 men here for the rest of the game. Well, no, for 33 seconds. So the Vikings will have a 2-man advantage as Converse picked up a penalty, and he also got called for yapping. And he almost got another one because O'Brien came over and said, "You're going to keep talking?" Some officials are very, I guess the term is rabbit ears, Paul. And they have a very short fuse, and apparently O'Brien is one of them. And of course, Converse, yeah, he got called for interfering with the goaltender and unsportsmanlike. And now we're down to 48 seconds left. Into the zone it goes. Puck knocked away at the blue line, but kept in. Here's a bouncer right across the goal mouth. 39 seconds left. Vikings with a 2-man advantage. Here's a shot, save made. Spatafor covers up. We're down to 34 seconds left in the third period. Raiders lead 4-1 here. And 15 seconds left in the first penalty. So the Raiders will be down 2 for 15 more. Face-off inside Massena territory. Interfering with the goaltender was the first one, and then he picked up an unsportsmanlike. Yeah. Okay, Steblin will take the face-off. Right on, and it kind of just trickled through, and Spatafor will cover it up, and we'll do it again. Face-off will come inside the Massena zone. Steblin against Engstrom. Off the draw, it bounces in the slot, and he got a man short side. He fired it wide. Bounces into the corner. Raiders looking to pick it up with 25 seconds left. Bounces along the boards, not out of the zone. They move it to the open man. Here's the big shot, save made. Puck in the corner with 18 seconds left. It's stolen away and dumped down the ice. And that's going to about take care of things as the Raiders get a man back anyway. It's clear to the blue line with 9 seconds left. 8 seconds to the Massena line. Into the zone it goes. They've got a man free in front. The shot, he fired it wide. Bounces to the side of the net as the buzzer sounds. And the Raiders, not only do they win the game, they clinch the Division I title. And you're pretty fortunate when you can do it and only play 1 period. But basically, the Raiders didn't wake up until the third period. But wake up they did. They scored 3 goals in the third period to win it 4-1. Again, the final, the Raiders defeat Thousand Islands on a score of 4-1. Stay tuned, everybody. The post-game show is next on WMSA.